There's a story out there that says that this man is born in 1769. And that legitimately...
Yo, you know what? Let's see. Yo, listen. I'm telling you, I need these moments. So let's try
vampire.
let's try to recreate them on the pod. Like, listen to me. I want you guys to listen to me, right?
This is on recording, by the way.
Listen, I got really great feedback on the Michael B. Jordan clip. Come at me. If you guys see an opportunity to send slugs at me, send them. Okay? I want it on camera. Come at me. I got thick skin. Okay? Come at me. You do. Don't be nice.
No,
Girl, I know you don't like me, so come at me.
What are we talking about?
Come at me. You could come at me. I want those moments. I want the banter, the insults, whatever. I am comfortable. Let's do it.
Okay.
So this song is called So Sup by K-Tra-Amini. I'm butchering the name. I'm so sorry.
Hold on. First off, he told you he was sitting here before we did the 4, 3, 2, 1.
I know.
Broke it down and said he was speaking about Mobb Deep, and the intro that you decided to play was that one right there.
It's a foul, man.
I had to.
Actually, what would be even great courtesy is to ask him.
Yeah.
What does he want to come into?
What's your intro?
We were just talking about Shook Ones. I think Shook Ones.
See, there you go, Mobb Deep.
Hold on, we have to make sure are we gonna get striked on that?
No, we're not.
Are you sure?
Got
No.
the clearance?
No, we're good.
Hell on earth.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Just
To all the killers and the $100 billers. For real, it's who ain't got no feelings. Check it out now.
I'm sorry. This is the anthem for hip hop.
I got you stuck off the realness. We be the infamous, you heard of us. Official Queensbridge murderers. The mob comes equipped for warfare. Beware of my crime family who got enough shots to share for all those who wanna profile and pose. Rock you in your face, stab your brain with your nose bone. You all alone in these streets, cause it's every man
It's
for
still the
himself.
fight music. It's still the fight music.
R.I.P. Prodigy. Jesus.
Yo, this is a Steady Mobbin Podcast brought to you by Crux Nest. Brought to you by anybody who wants to work hard. Anybody who wants to just get out of their fucking basement and just make something out of themselves.
Get touched.
This is episode 5.
We don't know.
We don't know, but it's like it's between 5 and 22 and 26 or 27. It'll be in the description eventually. We got to my far left a gentleman by the name of Glory.
West Side, mother.
Born in 1863 in South Carolina. He's a vampire. He's he's telling everybody out here he's from Jamaica, but he's not.
I was during the Jim Crow era.
Oh shit! So it's your fault.
To my closer left, I got Brooklyn.
Fake Jordan wearer.
Ain't no such things as halfway crooks. You heard that? You scared the look they shook.
Yo, you know what's so crazy?
Orpheus Road Jordan.
You know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy?
Ain't no such thing as
CBS Jordan.
Jordan.
Yeah, you know what's so
This man's
crazy?
a hater.
We have somebody from freaking Brooklyn playing the Queen's music right here.
Ooh, that's blasphemy.
Listen. Let me explain something to you guys, okay?
Yeah.
One thing about New York, they support one another no matter where you come from.
Okay.
And your music, if it's bumping, they gonna bump it. Let me just say that. It's not like you know in Toronto where it's like, yo, if you're from a certain area, you're not gonna bump certain music because of whatever situation's going
you're saying
on.
Toronto's a crab in a bucket type
It's
of
one
town.
of those where it's just like if you true to your hood and you true to, you know what I mean, you're gonna rep it no matter what it is. So
It's true.
That's
it's
what
true.
it is.
It's true. It's true.
Yo, honestly,
I like your hat though. And wow, you see that? Yeah.
Oh shit! I just noticed that.
I knew you're from Brooklyn, so I wore it purposely.
Did you really know she was Brooklyn?
I had no idea. She added me to Instagram today, so
Yeah.
I know who
She does a fake Brooklyn accent.
You know what?
pretty
I stopped. No, don't do that. Do you understand me?
good. Yeah, I'm from Brownsville. Yeah.
This is
You know what I mean?
First off, let's
You know what I
not.
mean?
the only way he
I
knows
needed
this,
some
the
tips.
only way he knows that is because he's a vampire.
Yeah.
Yo, listen.
Let us not talk about your
Can we
ashy
get to our
knees.
guest?
Yo, our guest out here today is Toronto Charlie.
Yes, sir.
Make some noise for Toronto.
Yes, sir.
Charlie.
Yes, sir.
So,
Yo, thanks for having me on, by the way.
No doubt.
We've been chopping up for a while now.
Yeah,
so,
we have.
Yeah.
We have.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. One would ask, like, what does he do?
Yeah, I mean,
Right. Yeah, what does he do?
I
What does
think
he
you
do?
should explain it, right?
I think I could explain it, but I'm going to try to explain it, and you let me know if it sounds.
Let's go.
Oh, he's about
Cool.
to fuck this up completely.
I probably am.
No, this man has no faith.
So
None.
I know this man also has no idea.
So I think so.
Two people have no faith.
What I think. So
Blind
hold on.
confidence
But
this
you
man
but
has,
you
eh?
but you have a day job,
I have a job, yeah.
right? So you have a day job who
Yeah.
keeps you afloat.
Ding ding, he got that.
Now, what you do is you literally. I damn near. Would you make money? Are you making money off your posts?
I have made money off of Instagram before, yeah. I have. It's not like my job, though. You know what I mean? Like, every now and then, it's just like, whatever, sure.
You need to tell us how we can make some money off of Instagram.
I
Sorry,
can put you on still.
So now my question is for you is like you post daily, which is your posts are fucking hilarious. I mean, we always go back and forth with you, and like I'm not the only one who believes that this is the actual thing, but like there's a couple thousands of people who agree with me.
we still don't know what he's doing, and you're not explaining it. So this train derailment.
It's so crazy. You are.
He's got a good voice, though, so I'm just here to be like, okay, yeah.
But you,
I can go to sleep.
I mean,
Yeah,
somebody
so-
just needs to
so-
speed up this intro because I'm falling asleep.
Yo,
you do. You basically. We're past the intro right now.
my-
We're past the intro right now.
Oh, sorry, I
Deep
couldn't
into
tell.
it,
My
We're
bad.
we're past the intro.
Okay. What does Charlie do?
He's a meme master.
First of all, I feel that, anyways, this is what you're doing right now. There's a couple people.
Hey, you got a mortgage, right?
you know what? Charlie,
What size are your shoes?
No. Hold on. You're a meme master.
I do memes, yeah. I repost memes, and I also make memes. I make a bunch of my own memes. Yeah, I do that.
So, but hold on. But is there more than meets the eye?
Is there more than meets the eye with me?
Yeah.
No.
No,
Yeah.
there is.
No. There is. Like I do. The pandemic, I started doing more and more skits. Yeah, that was sort of like how I like to spend my time. Like I was just like by myself in my fucking house and had nothing to do. So I started doing more skits, and then like a bunch of them got reposted by big blogs and big pages. But yeah, like my day job is I own a clean energy company.
I saw.
Yeah, so that's like my main.
You own
No,
it?
big shout out to that.
Yeah.
he's
me and
a boss.
me and my boy, we started it like 10 years ago. And it was just like one of those things where like it used to not be popular. Like clean energy wasn't really like a topic that most of the power people in Canada, in the world, didn't really want to touch clean energy too much.
Okay, so break
because the
that
oil
down.
and gas companies really do run how our economy works. And so yeah.
What do you mean by clean energy? Help me understand.
It started with doing research and development with a team of engineers out of Singapore in the battery space. And then about 4 years ago, we got introduced to the 3-term former Grand Chief of the Assembly of First Nations, a guy named Phil Fontaine. So he was the guy who was in charge of Indigenous relations and representing Indigenous people in Canada. So we met him and we were like, yo, we should do clean energy projects with First Nations communities. Mm-hmm. And now from there, like we're doing one of the biggest Indigenous-owned clean energy projects in Canada. Right now.
Can you
That's
define
dope.
what that is?
It's like large-scale solar paired up with batteries, and then you sell it to the utility, you sell it to the grid. So it goes to people's homes, or they take it and then they sell it to industrial, they sell it to the States.
That's cool.
So it starts like solar and batteries is like sort of like where we've sort of like created our foundation. But now we're getting into battery manufacturing up in Timmins. And we're also doing hydrogen production. I don't know if you guys know anything about hydrogen.
No, you just sound caked up right now.
I sound rich as
Yeah, you
shit.
sound
I'm not yet. I'm still,
Hydrogen
I'm still in the
production.
trenches. I'm still grinding. But like, yeah, we're working hard over here at my company. So,
So hydrogen is just the alternative to oil. It's
yeah,
what
like when you
cars come
basically the way that
So you're
cars.
the
It's
ops
like a
for
water
oil.
almost.
I'm
You're
not
the
yet.
ops for oil.
No, see, that's the thing is that we're not working with all the oil companies now. So that's good. Like we're working with like here in Canada, working with like the big players here, States, same thing, Middle East, same thing.
Yeah, big shout out for that, man.
Yeah.
So, in Canada, they're gonna make it so like in 30 years, like 2035, all the like maybe 50 or 60% of the cars that are being sold have to be electric.
Electric or hydrogen. They have to be zero emissions.
Zero emissions.
Yeah.
That's the law in 2035, right?
Pardon me?
That's the law in 2035.
Yeah, that's why there's this big like transition that's happening globally because the governments have said they put these mandates together saying you can't like they're regulating industry. So like if you're a company that use a lot of natural gas, for example, and when you burn that natural gas, it turns into carbon dioxide, which goes into the atmosphere, and that's bad for the environment. So they're all saying you have to start curbing that and figuring out how you're going to have a workaround. So hydrogen is a really good solution for that.
So is that an actual thing? Is that a viable?
Yeah, when you combust hydrogen, the emissions is water vapor. So like cars can run on it, factories can run on it.
So what's so I'm a little off with the chemical.
This is turning to the nerdiest podcast. I'll talk to you about the
I
science.
This is steady on. We talk about everything.
No,
right
but
here.
I'm saying
I'm good with it.
But by that happening, doesn't that mean less jobs for people?
No,
because that would mean
actually it's more jobs for people.
It's just a transition, right? It's the same people that are going to be working in, like, for example, we're working with this one municipality in Saskatchewan, and they have an issue right now because they have a coal plant. They have about 3,000 people that work at this coal plant. So they're trying to find a new way to bring industry into the municipality without losing all those jobs. So they're looking into clean energy being like one of the key ways to do that. So
what's the name of your company?
It's called Volterra Technology.
Okay,
so Volt.
Volt.
I'm very proud of this because I made up the name. Volt, like electricity, and then Terra, like the earth.
Cool.
Oh.
So people are gonna be googling the net worth of this company right now.
Yeah, good luck, bro.
Yeah. Wow.
It's called debt. No, I'm just joking.
Salute to you, man. It sounds great. Sounds like a good thing.
Do you see cars?
That's what I do. That's why like sort of like my content lacks. You know what I mean? Like, cause I'm having
because you focus on making some real bank.
And trying to like, you know, like we've been doing it for a long time and for a lot of years. It was very difficult because like no one was gonna hear us out.
Now it's a trending thing to do.
And now it's a trending thing. So now it's just like we got to like sort of heads down it, you know?
Yeah.
So doing that.
Touche.
Wow. I'm impressed, man.
Yeah, people are always surprised because like the memes that I post are so offside and like politically incorrect. And also like most of my skits are like, but I'm just a silly guy. You know what I mean? Like I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. So like,
and you started doing the memes during the pandemic, or
I started putting out the first piece of content that I ever made. It's not actually on my page, but my boy Corey, who you know, and you know John Lyons, shout out John Lyons. Corey moved down to LA with Murder Beats, so those guys were working down there, and like it was not pretty at the beginning. Like these guys were like, you know, sleeping on floors. It was like a tough time, and I knew that they were struggling, and like. And I was at the time I was like trying to make ends meet, and I was working at a wood shop, like making like tables and whatnot. And
sorry, what year is this?
I don't even know. Okay. I like many years ago.
Okay, got it. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know how many years ago that was. Mm-hmm. Anyways, they were down there. I was working at a wood shop, and I just sent Corey this video of like me like doing this like Toronto man's voice, like hollering at a girl. And he was like, yo, this is so funny. Me and Murder, just like, we're dying right now. He's like, do you mind if I send this to 6Buzz? And I was like, whatever. So they sent it to 6Buzz, and the 6Buzz posted it. And so then people started flooding to the account, and I was like, okay, maybe I should do more of these.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm going to do this a lot, right? Because I pick up things.
No, it's all good.
And when people fly through things, I'm like, hold on. You're not just going to skip that. You said Murder. Which Murder? Like, what Murder are you talking about?
Murder Beats. The producer. He's a producer.
Yeah.
so my
Murder Beats is what? Your friend?
Yeah, he's my dog. Yeah, because Corey's my best buddy, and Corey manages him, and Corey also manages like a whole bunch of other really successful and really well-to-do producers, talented producers.
A big shout out to
Murder
Corey.
Beats is the homie.
I have some stories about Corey back in the day.
Yeah?
Oh yeah, a couple stories. We'll talk about them later.
Shall we?
Murder Beats is the homie. I mean,
shall we? No.
Okay.
I don't want to air out Corey.
Murder Beats, we want you on the podcast.
yeah.
I mean, it's a long
pull up.
Yeah, shout out Murder too. Still.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Before I really cut you off, go ahead.
No, it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't remember what I was talking about.
I don't either.
Oh, no, that was the first piece of content that I made.
Yes, there we go.
And then I started doing like a couple more of them. Like I was doing them more on my story. And then people were like, why don't you post these onto your grid? And at the time, I hated Instagram. I feel like everyone kind of also always hates Instagram. Like no one's like, oh, this is a healthy thing for me. Like I really spend time on there and I get like good enjoyment out of it. I was posting like, I was a club promoter trying to make ends meet. And I was posting just like thirst traps of just me, like, you know, looking like a fucking goofball, like heavily filtered photos of me, like with like like finding a puppy on the street and just being like, do you mind if I just like hold your dog for a second, and being like flexing with it just for that. So I hated who I was on Instagram anyways. So I was like, this is going to be better than that. I had a buddy who I was just like, yo, I don't want people to not take me seriously as a business person, which is fair. And then he was like, you don't really want to do business with people who don't know that you're a funny person anyways, because they're going to know that eventually.
Yeah.
And also, if someone is going to judge you for it, like let's say 90% of people, let's say 50%. He was like, let's say 50% of people think that you're a goofball and being like, yo, fuck this guy. Who the fuck? Charlie's a fucking joke. And then 50% are just like having a cackle behind their phone. Would you still do it? I'm like, of course I would do it. You know what I mean? Because you got to just like I was just talking to you about. It's just like when you do things in your life, it's always based around having no fear, or else you're just gonna be a ducky. You're gonna be a duck sitting in a pond doing bullshit for the rest of your life, unless you make some changes. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to take risks. You have to make yourself a little bit vulnerable, and then hopefully some good shit can come of it. And you don't get canceled.
Absolutely.
So when did you decide to become the Tony Clark? Or was it? Is it
the fuck is Tony Clark?
Iron Man.
Oh, Iron Man
of media.
Yo, that
when did you decide to do that?
No. Let's go with Tony Clark.
Yeah,
was it Tony Clark? Was it Tony Clark?
Tony Stark, yo.
Tony Starks, yo.
Put
Jesus
the
Christ.
weed down, bro.
Jesus Christ, there, bud.
No, I'm sorry. I love to.
When did you decide to do that?
What happened was I was in university, and then I had to.
So you're admitting you're rich?
No. True say, I grew up with $0, man. I grew up in a poor family. But what happened was I came out of university. I went for 1 year. Well, after my 1 year of university, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I seen all the kids in university like popping Adderall. And like it was just like a very common thing before universities, like Adderall, Ritalin to like study for their exams. And I was like, me and my boy were like, we should create a tea or like a drink that does the opposite, like does the same thing, but you can sell it in stores, like something that like will wake your brain up and like calm your body down. Shit. So I did that for like a year.
And what'd you come up with?
We came up with this concoction. Like we like talked to like nutritionists and herbalists and people, like we got it and we tested on ourselves and had really bad dreams. Anyways, we did that, and then after a year, the person who was like our financier for that project like pulled the plug. She had dumped all her money into businesses in like Saskatchewan or something. Like she had like a brother-in-law that took her for a couple million. So we were about to go into marketing and production, and then it like got shut down, and I was like, holy fuck. So I hollered at my boy, and he was like, come to Woodbridge and come work for this marketing company and sell these like 3D TVs. Remember 3D TVs when there was like a rage there for a sec where you put the glasses on?
Yeah.
It had a 3-year thing. Yeah.
Were they 3 years? Really?
Yeah, they were popular for a little bit there.
Okay.
Anyways, I was reading a book that at that time being like, you have to find a mentor. Just be like, this is like the key thing for like young people in their 20s. You have to find someone who has a life that you like. And whether it be like from the professional standpoint, but if they also have like a family life or like their personal life that you actually like as well, just start meeting up with them. And anyways, I met a guy, and he like brought me into a clean energy company. So that's how that started. I just started meeting up with him every Sunday, just being like, just with 10 questions, being like, what about this? What about this?
So all your stuff is Canadian made or Chinese made?
This guy's putting me on blast.
Yeah, he's going after you.
No. Our plan for our battery manufacturing in Northern Ontario is that's all Canadian source resources. Yeah.
A big shout for that. Man.
Yeah, you got to work with Canadian. Yo, it's stupid, man. We in Canada, and we were trying to sell this story 7 years ago, man. In Canada, we are a very resource-rich country. We have a lot of precious metals in the ground. And what we do as a country is we export them to China, then China manufactures them into product, and then we import them back. So it's this entire value chain that's been mismanaged, right? So now there's this big push to have Canadian made product. So that's our plan.
What Canadian political parties align with your vision when it comes to clean energy.
I think damn near anybody could.
I don't fucking know, man.
Honestly, politics.
He looks like he stays away.
I stay out of politics, man. At the end of the day, they're not running the show. Like they are in some respects, like from the mayoral level, like in Toronto, there will be changes that we'll see. But like most of the time, it's like if they're
puppets, but
I'm not saying they're puppets. There's policy, but they definitely are the person that's put in charge to, put a message forward that most of the time they aren't the ones who've come up with, right?
Absolutely.
There's no personality.
That could be beneficial to what you're doing.
Wait, you're saying I should go into politics?
I'm not going to go into politics. I think there's a correlation between
having a politician,
being an entrepreneur, right?
This guy,
and supporting a politician that has policies that could help you.
Yeah,
achieve certain things.
I mean, that's when you have a couple.
You know what I see. You know what I see in politics, and I see it in a very true way all the time. Especially because I work with a lot of indigenous communities, I see a lot of promises and I see no action. It's disgusting. You know, even when you hear, and what they'll do is they'll put out these statements about all of this money that's been allocated for these certain communities for XYZ. And they don't do it. They don't grant that money even when, like, for example, I'll tell you something. So there's a 5% procurement mandate from the government that 5% of all public works in Canada have to go to an Indigenous-owned company, right? So that's saying roadways, that's making bridges, that's doing sewer systems, that's doing all sorts of electrical infrastructure, and those companies don't get granted those projects because they come in and the big guys just swoop in and say, okay, we have this. We actually have like an Indigenous subsidiary, and then the Indigenous subsidiary gets it, but it's really not. There's a lot of promises when Indigenous folks get when they get land claim settlements. So like you'll hear about this every now and then. It'll be an Indigenous community that gets a land claim settlement. So essentially, what happened is that they had land that was given to them, and then the government came and they put up towns, they put in roads. They basically said this is not yours anymore, which is crazy. So now they're all lawyering up. And they're saying, hey, these documents that we've built the country around say that this is our land and you've been using it for X amount of years. You owe us X amount of dollars, right? So Canadian government will, not to get too political, Canadian government will give that community the land back plus money. That money goes into a trust that's then owned by a bank that they really can't access without having the bank/government approval of that loan or of that spend of the money, right? There has to be a whole development corporation that gets put together, and there's this long process just to get paper out. It's not like they get the paper and then they can go and start building houses, or they can start.
That's how they get them.
That's how it's disgusting.
It's crazy.
I hate it.
So
when you talk about politics, it's like, do I see that changing for many of the political parties? Like maybe if an NDP got elected, that would change.
I think, in my opinion, we'll go quickly over politics.
Sounds like a locked-in retirement accounts. Like if you build a pension and say you accumulate 200,000, you gotta wait till you're freaking 65 to access it.
It's hard to access.
And then
2 years ago,
to access it, you have to have these. 2 years. That was cute. Great way to take a serious conversation and turn it on its head.
Yo, sorry, I didn't even get all serious there for a second.
No, it's okay.
I was trying to
no, it's okay.
What's actually going on in this country?
No, you're speaking on behalf of the Indigenous community, and I feel like they need more of a voice because they're underrepresented in like pretty much everything. And they suffer like extreme levels of oppression and corruption.
Indigenous women are one of the most discriminatized groups of people in Canada.
Yo, their numbers are crazy, man.
This guy says their number.
When I see their numbers of how they disappear, and nobody's looking for them.
Yo, you guys should watch this documentary called Highway of Tears. It's about.
I saw that documentary.
My dog made that documentary
on CBC.
He made it years ago. I don't know where it lives. I think that it was on Netflix for a bit there, but yeah, like I went. That was a crazy experience. I went to the premiere of that, and like I was out of my element.
It's a Vice documentary.
No, Highway of Tears. It's like it's about missing Indigenous women.
Vice, Highway of Tears.
No, there's actually
like okay, I think I found
there's like a roadway called
BBC. You said Highway of Tears,
like missing in BC.
Yeah,
missing Indigenous women. It's basically like I don't know exactly how many kilometers it is, but I think it's either like 500 or like 1,000 kilometers
from BC up to like Alaska
of roads that are in northern BC that Indigenous women have gone missing for the past like hundreds of years, 100 years, where like trucker, like I don't know who's doing it, but like it's horrible. It's horrible. So I go to this premiere, right? And like I had gone out the night before that I went, and I was a bit shaky. And I went, and it was like all of these Indigenous women's families who were in the doc. Like these women were like being showcased in the documentary, and their families were there. It was shocking, and it was definitely a learning moment for me. You know what I'm saying?
So after the buzz on sorry, we're gonna jump all over the place.
Jump all over the place. It's all good.
After the buzz on Six Buzz, did you like realize that? Oh yeah, I'm like a I'm gonna say a quasi celebrity, because like, you are a celebrity in your own right, but like,
there's like no, it was more so like I was enjoying the fact that I was getting approached by people who were saying that, you know, I was like brightening their day. Just being like, your shit makes me laugh. I love it. I love going to your page, or like I keep going back to your page to watch it, to like, and I think that's what most comedians thrive off of that. Like very few of them are like.
So you're a comedian. Whoa, we broke it down. We broke it down in science.
No. Like I guess I do comedy on my page, but like I'm not a comedian. Like I wouldn't, like I was talking about this earlier. Like I'm not gonna go. I don't think at this point in my life I have the mental capacity to go and do stand up. Are
you doing any playwrights? Like are you writing any like scripts, sketches?
Yeah.
You are, right?
Yeah.
That's good. That's amazing. Like filmmaking or what?
Yeah.
I can definitely see him doing.
Yeah. Like a Judd Apatow. You know what I mean?
Yo, me and my buddy Cam Hunter, shout out Cam Hunter. He's one of the guys. He's one of the lead guys from Down with Webster, and he's actually dropping a new solo project this year, and he's amazing. He's a
stocky guy, right?
He's what?
Was he the stocky guy?
He's not stocky. He's hella handsome. Like ladies love Cam forever. Like you go to a bar and like
he was a stocky guy. He was a big guy.
He's not stocky. He's a sweeter man. Like he's not a stocky guy.
The man said he's a sweeter man.
He's a sweeter man. Like yeah. I'm saying like he's like, and I'm just saying because he's a close friend of mine. So when you go out and it just happens automatically. Where like, and he has zero interest. Like you go to a bar and like a beautiful girl, they approach him.
Yeah, Down Webster was a vibe.
It was a whole thing.
It was, like people want, like you don't remember Down Webster back in the day? Down with Webster.
Who's that?
You're a rich girl and it's gone too far. They have a whole bunch.
They covered that song.
Yeah, they covered that song. They have a whole bunch of bangers that like have done very well.
So basically they're like a Toronto Much Music band. They were big in Canada.
They're big in Canada, yeah.
Okay. All across Canada.
Okay, my bad.
And yeah.
Anyways, long story short, is him and I we linked up and started to write a show just because we have so many hilarious. We lived together for a while and with Bucky from Down with Webster, and just like the way that we treated that apartment and the way that we were living.
How many orgies did you guys have?
No, zero orgies there. Nah, but we did. So we wrote something during that time, and that's just on the shelf. But I'm actually I'm in talks with this group out of Toronto called Banger Films. They did Evolution of Hip Hop, and they did K-pop Evolution.
Cool.
And we're thinking about going into a dev contract. Anyways,
a dev
like development.
Oh, okay.
So you like go and like they start pitching it to like
cool.
XYZ or whatever. But that's with my boy Ricky. So Ricky Baba, fucking legend. Mm-hmm. This guy's ex Pixar. He worked on Shrek, worked on Kung Fu Panda. He's
sick
an animator, and now he's art director at Meta. Mm-hmm. So I linked up with him through Instagram. He was just like in my DMs, and I didn't even know. And I just like went to his page one day with your message request or whatever. I was just like, yo, this is crazy. You've been hollering at me and laughing at my shit. You're a big deal. Anyway, so we linked up and we're likely going to be doing an animation series.
Amazing.
So seeing where that goes.
Do you have a passion for comedy or do you have a passion for film? Or because I'm trying to figure out. I'm like, it seems like you're dabbling in a couple of things, maybe just because you enjoy it, or maybe because you're passionate about it, or maybe you're passionate about maybe just making people happy. Where does your passion lie?
Passionate about that paper, bro.
Ooh. I mean, that's
where the money reside. Where the money reside.
Like for in 2014 to 2016, I was working a lot in music, and there's no paper in there. Unless you hit, there's no paper in there.
Yeah.
Unless same with like a lot of comedians. It's like unless you're going and you're literally putting out you have shows. And like I said, the maths.
Yeah.
If you have 100 people that come out to your show and everyone pays $20,
yeah,
and you do that once a week, you're making paper.
Yeah.
But if you're sitting at your home and you're making music, unless you like get a big placement, there's no paper in there. And then if you're the manager or like you're in artist development, unless you're getting hired by a record label to do A&R, there's no money in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but the paper, that's sort of my passion. I like money. I want to build a good life.
Yeah.
So, and also I have a creative bone, right? So, it's a difficult question.
Well, it sounds like
it's a difficult question. It's a difficult question.
It sounds like you're already making paper with your
clean energy shit.
Yes.
It's a hustle still. It's a hustle.
I think you're being modest.
No, it's a hustle. it is a hustle. Like we have a very bright future, but we're still in the trenches. Like we're still grinding it out very much so. Like me and my business partner, like I don't know, him and I both came from the promotion world, right? So we both, like, he was a club owner, and it's very interesting. Like neither of us got our education in energy infrastructure or anything like that. It's just like it's sheer resilience and like having no shame to reach out to the biggest players.
Would you make a pitch on, like, say, the Dragon's Den or the Shark Tank?
I was gonna ask.
Def not, bro.
Why not?
No, because here's one thing I learned about. So I have people who actually pitched on that show, and they don't get money for about almost 2 years.
What am I gonna? What if
2 years? Really? Is that it? Like 2 years is not a long time.
No, that flies by. But also they're more product based, right? That's like me being like, here's my jigamajoo, and this thing fixes this, and this is like
you gotta give us an object to sell.
There's no object to sell. This is not TV worthy. This is large scale infrastructure projects. This is selling electricity. This is trying to, like, and our goal is, and Mark, my business partner, and I, like, we have this goal to help bring electricity to people who don't have it. So the only way that to be able to do that is you got to make enough money to be able to fund your own project, because and we work with financial entities, right? Like they're the ones who help fund these large scale projects, because that's just parking money into place, and then the people are paying for the power, so it's an investment, right? Mm-hmm. But like you go to places in the world that they don't have electricity. Near on 1 billion people in the world don't have.
So you're on a higher meaning, man. You're about just giving to the people who actually need it.
Well, we want to do that.
Yeah,
we want to do that. 100%, man. 100%. That's like, so that's the thing that keeps us moving forward, because we know that we're very lucky to live in a place where, at least in Toronto, there's a lot of places in Canada where Indigenous groups do not have access to electricity. They're on diesel generators. So that's probably stage one after we've been able to make some paper and like be able to put in and get the government on our side to be able to actually get these people over to having consistent electricity, so they don't need to.
Trudeau, are you listening?
So I'm assuming.
We want you on the podcast.
Yo, Trudeau,
my God.
Yo, Trudeau, reach the podcast, man.
Let's talk about it, and we're gonna bring Charlie here.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're a Tesla fan.
Yeah, I'm a Tesla fan. Like, well, I'm anti-fossil fuel, and I'm not really anti-fossil fuel, but I believe that the time has come for a transition. So like Elon Musk is a very it's a point of contention for a lot of people. It's like he's become a controversial subject. Do I think the guy should have access to his Twitter account? No. But do I think that the things that he's done for humanity from a very high level perspective, if you like look in like 30 years being like, yeah, he was a bit of an awkward weirdo and who says like offside shit on Twitter, and that leaves people with a bad taste in their mouth. But if you look at the fact that like he brought money to the internet, like we're sending money right now on PayPal. He invented PayPal. Yep. We're doing e-transfers because of him. We're going to Mars because of him.
He's brilliant.
We have an entire clean EV boom happening. Every single automotive manufacturer, they're all moving into EV manufacturing. They're all setting up battery plants.
And what about hydrogen? You just said hydrogen. Is that a viable option?
I think that hydrogen is an amazing option.
You think they'll have a hydrogen like department in each company?
They are doing that.
To really,
Yeah. I'm seriously talking like the biggest oil and gas companies in the world, and they're all very excited about hydrogen because they can crack their natural gas that they've been producing and they can turn it into hydrogen. That's like what we do. That's like our golden egg.
Make some noise for hydrogen.
But also here's the thing about hydrogen. The EV market we think is fantastic. You know, there is some issues.
Downfall.
There is some downfall. You know, there's the recyclability of batteries, and then you know, you also have some really horrible mining practices happening in the Congo, and that's to get cobalt.
So shout out to that, yeah.
So there's
not really shout out to that, but people wearing it.
No, I believe that there should be very like I don't believe you should be able to buy a car in North America that have come from a place where you have irresponsible mining methods.
Yeah, it's like it's almost identical to like the blood diamonds and stuff. It's
Hell
like
yeah.
So when you say irresponsible,
bro, I've been blood diamonds. Don't buy lab grown diamonds if you're gonna buy diamonds.
Yeah,
facts.
Yeah.
Yo, I've been to West Africa. I've done diamond deals in West Africa. Yo, don't buy diamonds unless they're lab grown.
Why not?
Because you see, and I'm only saying this because I've been there, and the paperwork that verifies that a diamond is not a blood diamond is very wishy-washy, right? It's very like you have like, so like my experience is that I went to Guinea, and we knew that the diamonds that we were getting were coming from Sierra Leone, and so we were like, we don't want to do this, but the paperwork checks out. Being like, this is not a blood diamond. Like, so there's like, I'm a very strong proponent that if you are to buy diamonds, is to buy them lab grown. And there's a lot of companies now that are doing that, like that have lab grown diamonds, and they're by chemistry, they are diamonds pure. They are a pure diamond.
Okay,
you can get different grades, but yeah.
I guess what I'm trying to get at, right?
It's a bad sector. It's a bad industry. It's also regulated by De Beers, who controls the supply to keep the price up.
And that's what I'm trying to get at is the education. What's the difference between a blood diamond and a lab diamond? Why is it called a blood diamond and a lab diamond? What's the difference? Why shouldn't people buy blood diamond?
Well, like I'm not saying that all diamonds that people are buying are blood diamonds, but it's just that the verification to know that it's not, unless it's coming from like Canada, there's no real way to know where it's coming from.
Mm-hmm. I guess what you're asking is like what is the definition?
Lab grown
why is it labeled blood diamond? Like
because they have. Okay, so I guess the real term of where blood diamond comes from is that you have people that own mines, and either they have mining practices where the people who are working the mine are getting zero pay or 16 cents a day or something, some bullshit like that, or you have people who own these mines, and then the money that they're making from the sales of the diamonds are then going into the funding of war criminals.
Got it.
So the diamond makes the money to then fund violence.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so a lab grown diamond, a diamond is compressed
coal.
It's compressed carbon.
Carbon.
It's compressed carbon. So there's these companies now, and I have a buddy that's like deep in the space. There's these companies now that they have these big machines that they compress carbon, and you're still not going to get, like, it's still an undetermined amount of clarity that you're going to get from the diamond, right? You can still have the VVS1, whatever. You can have all these different like types of diamonds that can be produced. It's sort of like it's a guess, but I feel like it's a better and more responsible way to like source your diamonds. Rappers.
I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking. The direction this interview has gone, it has me completely floored.
Let's talk about rap music, man. Let's talk about
I
music.
Feel like we need to get to some ignorance.
Let's get into some funny shit.
Sorry. When you got the 6 Buzz plug, how many rappers hit you up? Jump on my video or whatever.
A couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple.
Ooh, do you want to give us names?
No. No, but more like skit comedians hit me up being like, yo, we should do something together, da da da. And like I still plan to. Like the only person that I've done a collaboration with was the 6 at 6.
How was that? How'd that go?
It went well. Yeah, like I thought that video was pretty funny. Like it's not the funniest one. Like people like shorter videos, and that one was a minute. And yeah, I thought that it was jokes. He's
like shorter videos than a minute.
Yeah, people like bang, bang, bang. Like, the attention span is crazy, especially
bang,
I see you talking about TikTok. Like, TikTok keeps, like, that has, like, Instagram crushed our attention span, and TikTok has done it even worse. Like, people, like, if you don't hit people in the first few seconds, they are just scrolling.
What the hell can he do in 15 seconds?
Yo, explain to your boy, man. The guy was born in the 1600s over here.
A lot. The shorter the video, the better.
1700s,
Oh, shit. You said it first.
The better.
Oh my God. Like, do you actually see a future in like this freaking content, Instagram, TikTok, type of freaking space. Like, what are your thoughts? Or like,
okay, so I feel as though my girlfriend, she's spent the past like year-ish working at a social media influencer agency. And so her job essentially was to link up the brands and the appropriate influencer who fits the brand's needs for a specific campaign. And just seeing that world from a very like inside of it, it's crazy. It is a wild world. It's a wild world. It's a wild world.
How long did she spend her time on TikTok?
Influence.
You know, when she first started working there, I was just like, TikTok, like they're gonna start doing this on TikTok, and then she was just like, TikTok is like the algorithm is too undeterminate, like, or like you can't really gauge the metrics because some videos, I have a TikTok or someone runs a TikTok that I have or whatever, and like I have videos that like crushed it on Instagram that like did nothing there, and vice versa, where you're just like, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I think that TikTok may have figured it out now. I don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, they are doing TikTok now. If you're a social media creator and you're doing it as a job, you have to be responsible for keeping up for all the new platforms that come out. So you have to be on TikTok. If you don't have a YouTube channel, you're a ducky. You have to have, obviously, Instagram, Clubhouse. What's Clubhouse saying these days?
a lot of violence and insults on Clubhouse.
For real?
It turned into something different.
That shit is in PTSD.
Wow.
So how did your girlfriend get involved in that? Like,
she's not an influencer.
No.
She just got hired. She was interested in the marketing world, and she was like, I think this is going to be an interesting thing. She actually works for us now. But yeah, she was like, she just got hired. She just got hired by.
That's a big flex, by the way.
She's helping us grow up. We have systems now. But yeah, she just got hired by this company, and like, but yo, these people are making paper, eh? Like these people are making like serious dough. I know that because I also have friends who are influencers, and like these campaigns that some of these influencers are making are getting, or they're making dough.
Are you familiar with our content?
A little
like
bit.
the steady mobbing content.
A little bit. I
because I would love to ask you, right?
Because you're going really, really off our regular content.
I mean, if there's any advice, or anything you would say to encourage us to do more of or less of, I'm interested in hearing.
I feel as though, like a lot. I also have friends who are influencers, and you would be mind blown about the amount of people who go ahead and they hit up one of these websites, they buy themselves 20,000 followers, and they just start going. Being like, I'm going to pretend that I'm an influencer. I'm going to be talking about brands. I'm going to be putting out aesthetically pleasing content. I'm going to be going at this full time. And then next thing you know, brands are just, and people, and I've gotten into arguments with my girlfriend about this, and I'm just like, yo, they bought followers. And she's like, no, because brands can tell about the engagement. Most brands don't care. I have the engagement on my shit of someone who is a very popular influencer. If I had 100,000 followers, I have like 7 or 8 or some shit. Like they're when what they're doing is they're getting into these engagement groups. So there'll be like a couple hundred people in this engagement group, and it's part of their job where they go in being like, just posted. And then they all go and they comment on it. And they all go like it. And then you can go onto these websites too, and you can buy likes. So your optics are like, yo, this person is popping, and it's been fabricated out of fucking thin air. And they're getting paper. True say, they're getting like, I'm not joking. Like the amount of money that they're making more than the lawyers and the doctors that you know. They're
essentially making money off of a lie.
Yeah, but you grow off the lie.
But then you grow off the lie, because then people come, and then there's this snowball that happens. People are like, oh, they're popping, I'll follow them. Da da da.
So where does one go buy 20,000 followers?
Bare websites, but yeah,
they're all in your DMs. I see it.
Yo, never.
Do you want to buy 10,000 followers for $40?
What I want to ask you guys is what do you guys think about the purchasing of the blue check? Like, what are your guys thoughts on that? Like, now you can just go and you can get verified. Like, now what?
I don't like it.
Why
would
they do that?
I'm not with it.
I'm not with it. Why would they do that?
It takes the aura, the special. It makes it less special. It makes it less worthy. Like, you know, having a blue check, I think at one point meant something. But if you could just purchase it, it means nothing. Really?
I think we're in the precursor of what's the next step of the whole social media. What they're doing now is they want to
just by popularity.
No, they want to clear the bullshit first. They want to clear the bullshit, and they want anybody who wants to be on a blue check. These are people who want to talk. So there will be people who buy it. I know people who bought it. You know what I mean?
It's some crazy number, the amount of people that bought it.
Yeah, so they'll buy it to talk. So what Twitter wants to do is just separate the fake news, right, and the real news. So when people start putting their information, their credit card information on Twitter, people know who you are.
No, on Instagram too.
Yeah, on Instagram too. And Facebook hasn't let that in yet, but they actually in the States they have actually.
Who has Facebook?
But with Instagram,
when I say Facebook, I mean Instagram too.
No, but with Instagram, it's like people. This is what people fail to understand. People been buying likes, shares, all that from day one.
Buying blue checks
from day one. It was just more discreet with it before.
Yeah.
Now they're more open about it because there was a lot of artists that were buying blue checks. You would look at the numbers.
So my question is, if anyone could buy a blue check, what's the value in having a blue check?
Exactly. There is no more value. They've devalued it now.
Majority of the people.
I think. Sorry for interrupting you. I feel like the next step is going to be another kind of verification.
Yeah, they're probably going to turn into a red check or a purple check or something.
Yeah.
They're going to add
I need
something.
that red check, man.
Yeah, you feel me?
How do you feel about buying followers? Because I made a post about buying followers. I'm kind of against it, but the way you broke it down, if it can bring you to a certain goal, which would be monetary.
We've all thought about it.
Yeah,
let's keep it a buck. When you go on people's pages, is like some people go on your pages because of the amount of followers that you
absolutely.
That
I know perception.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those where it's just like, yo, she has 15,000 followers and she's following me. Do you see who's following me? Like this girl that has.
Would you recommend it to an upcoming, say for us, upcoming podcast? Like it's something we should at least.
Well, like obviously you can't now because you've talked about it, but
yeah.
I feel like it's something that can be done if you're going to take it seriously and be like, no, I'm stacking just because I want to have the optics, but I'm also working hard. Like I really don't like when there's someone who has just like a regular page and then they have like, 20,000 followers. It's just like, and then you look at their comments and
three comments
on every post. I'm like, yo, you haven't had one thing pop off at all. And you have the audacity to do your once a month post of you and your man's at your fucking you and your man's Thanksgiving post. Are you kidding? And you have 20,000 followers. Who's following you?
Let me tell you something. I've learned something on Instagram.
You nailed it. That's how I feel about it.
Who is following you?
There were certain videos that I posted that got me thousands of followers because other people reposted it other places and stuff like that. And it was crazy. But then there was videos that I put up and it was like people really didn't give two shits about. And it was one of those where I looked at myself and I looked at the content that I was posting. The ones that weren't getting it was when I was speaking to the truth to the mandem and telling them, dear black men and all this type of stuff. They don't want to hear all of that. But when I was going on like rampages and going at people, and that's when it was booming and I was on.
They don't want to hear dear black men. They want to hear fuck black men.
Basically,
you
feel me? When I was going at people, when I was doing certain things, that's what they like, and that's
the negativity. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what's up.
I don't know, like,
and that personally, that's something that I really dislike about what's happened in Toronto in terms of like the comedy stuff over the past couple of years is that you had Memes for Your Head Top, you had the 6-1 Straight to the 6. I don't know. Real Toronto News. You have 6 Buzz. I don't know any of the other ones. But there was a time there where they were putting out all sorts of different content. Yeah. Right? And then all of a sudden over the past bit, I don't know how long it's been, but there's been just a very clear focus of making sure that the narrative that they're pushing forward is one that is based out of mostly negativity and bringing negative viewpoints.
Yes.
And making sure there's division within different communities and different groups of people. And I just really miss the days where there's like pop-in pages that are being like, also, here's some silly things to like.
Yeah,
right?
a lot of
like, so it might not give you the same likes, so you don't have people arguing in your comment section, but like that's just like, it's just.
I agree. I see a lot of the comments. I mean, not comments. Content is like gender adversarial. So there's like this weird dynamic between like, particularly in the black community, black men versus black women. 50-50 relationships. Yo, this woman, she's with this guy. He's a waist suit. Black woman, you need to choose better. And then black women say about the black man, nigga, you need to have one family and da 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 da. And I see this freaking dynamic, and it's so adversarial. And I feel like there's a lot of finger pointing and blaming and trash talking, and a lot of the blogs promote a lot of that division. And I'm like, yo,
and it's not, it's and it goes across the board for everything.
It
goes across the board for all political issues. They bring all those sorts
it's
of
like
things
like the red pill, blue pill, like
that shit's so terrible, man.
You know, you have people that come in and then from there, you know, you have these blogs are being like, okay, these are numbers. We love numbers, and then they start bringing on people who really should not have a platform and they should not be speaking publicly, and they're putting them onto their page and they're giving them a further voice, which is just like that shouldn't be the way it is.
But that relationship freaking category does numbers, man. Like, hence the freaking success of
that's what you're seeing. See, it's funny because that's your algorithm, right? Yeah. That's not what my algorithm's showing me.
What's your algorithm? What's your algorithm showing you?
Everyone's algorithm showing them something different, right?
Yeah, we're all literally.
But like,
my algorithm's fucked. My algorithm's fucked.
And it's not even. It's gotten to the point now where it's not even the things that I was having a conversation about this the other day, where it's no longer the things that you want to be seeing. It's the things they're now showing you things that you don't want to see to then rile you up and give you the the boost of the emotion. So then you get further addicted.
All I care about is Canadian hip hop. I don't know why they're showing me Andrew Tate and all these red pillars and
why is it that
fit? I don't give a fuck.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why is it that they're showing me Andrew Tate? I'm like a left leaning guy. I do not believe in the majority of the things that this guy said. 99% of it, I don't believe. And like so many of and he's just one example. Yeah. But there's a lot of like, and I was talking to someone who's like a full blown activist, right? And you know, they fight for and stand up for people's rights in all communities. And he was like, why is it that I'm getting all of this misogynistic content in my Explore page? He's like, it doesn't make any sense. And so I've got me thinking, I'm like, okay, they're doing it so then you get riled up. And then you're going back to check it.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that's a conspiracy.
We should have asked you this question in the beginning. What was the inspiration behind the Toronto Mans?
Which Toronto Mans?
The ones the whole persona, like the whole persona. What was the inspiration behind that?
Just being in Toronto.
Like I grew up as a Toronto man. and that's just facts. Like I grew up with that, right? That was our the guys that I grew up with. This is what we were doing, and it's also gotten to the point now where like you have comedians who take that and they are. And this is not new. Like I'm kind of bored of the Toronto Mans thing or whatever.
Yeah. It's played out.
It's gotten very, very played out. Like everything does, right? Like it has its little moment and being like, this is funny, and then, you know, Markham gets a hold of it or whatever, Brampton gets a hold of it, and then they run with it 4 years later, so it's very popular now. Anyways, like all things, like it's like my Western bro persona. It's taking a personality and then like exaggerating upon it a lot, right?
Yeah. And the Toronto Mans, I guess, concept. We interviewed Marlon Palmer. He's probably one of the freaking originators.
That guy's a legend.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I've actually never met him, but I remember his content from back in the day. 6 at 6, also like a pioneer. Like they were the ones who first started doing it.
And we want you on the podcast.
Yo, 6 at 6 will come on. He's a really great person. Like he's like a nice guy who like loves to work, loves to like just meet people.
You think you can make that happen?
Of course I can make that happen. I'll come on with him. I don't give a fuck. He's a blessed man. You know what he's doing right now? He's renovating an entire school bus into like this like sick ass like in like interior, and he's driving across Canada in it.
That's I saw that. Yeah, he's doing like a vlog type of thing.
Again, stay working, right? Like I don't, But when people are, I love to see it. Like I was telling you, Neiman's, like I love what he's doing. Just be like, it's gonna be a few videos a week, and you're not gonna miss me, right?
Yo, these networks need to get behind these personalities.
I'm telling you, what's going on? It's bizarre.
What's happening right now?
Yo, I'm telling you, because of my girlfriend's work, I was like, I'm like, comedians have the best retention. They have the most comments, they have the most likes, they have the most shares, and brands are like very apprehensive about working with comedians because it's like, is this on brand? Is this H&M? Like, is this like? Do you feel like Clorox is really like represented with this individual, right? So they're not putting paper.
I don't want
to
Clorox either.
yeah, you know, baby wipes, all that. Like, there's just like, so there's specific. You know who makes the most money? Is the mommy bloggers. The mommy and daddy bloggers. Ooh. Those are the ones who are getting the paper because these brands were so reliant on commercials for so long, right? Pampers ads, wiping up your kids' shit, blah, blah, blah.
All of a sudden, she's like, I wipe my kids with this.
Yeah. After a long day, I need something that's going to do the job quickly.
Hey, y'all you guys could be banking. What y'all doing?
And we're fathers, too.
Exactly.
Yo, so you're slipping, and that's what I'm saying.
Shame.
Yeah, shame.
It's terrible.
Know.
It's terrible.
It's fucking stupid.
Okay.
What are you doing right now?
Speaking of fathers, are you a father?
He's
No?
probably.
Any plans?
Oh, yay.
Nah.
Really? You don't want no kids?
No, I do.
Yeah. Just got to find a way. Not the white.
This guy's looking at me and just calling me white. Yo, I was already feeling a bit othered on this podcast already. And this guy goes, you got to find the right white. I mean, holy shit. Yo, Glory. Yo,
listen.
I swear to God, I'm going to go to all my whites and I'm going to get you canceled. Holy shit. This guy looks at me and he says, verbatim, you got to find the white.
This is what happens
What
when you're
is
on a
going
podcast
on, bro?
that is 8 hours long and you drink for like 6 of it.
Yo.
Yeah. I apologize.
I feel bad for this man who's walked. You got the
Yo,
last
but don't
spot.
get
This
me
guy's
wrong.
wasted, bro. You
Don't
trust
get
this
me
man.
wrong. I love white women. My daughter's biracial, so you know what I mean? Like, I love white women. I love my black queens, too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you try to reach after.
Yeah.
Except for
You
when
see
they
how
wear...
Get your
try to
dusty
reach
hands
after.
off me, boy.
Like, the first thing he should have said was, I love my black queens.
Except for when they wear fake Jordans. I don't like
Yo, let me tell you something.
She had the Michael B. Jordan.
Listen. Because we're not about to do this.
She-
Okay, let me clear this
She
up.
got the Jordan preschoolers
Let me
on.
clear this up because he came.
This guy has this Walmart Led Zeppelin shirt on.
Listen,
His Morpheus Led Zeppelin shirt, yo.
It's
Thank
actually
you.
Giant Tiger.
He's talking about JT over here. Fuck off, man.
Exactly.
Protect our women, man.
Thank you. You should be ashamed of yourself. White chocolate. Is
Yeah. This guy puts on his hunter hat, thinks that he can talk shit.
You call the white chocolate. White chocolate is not real. So she's saying you're fake. I'm just saying.
You know what? You're doing a little bit too much with your ashy knees right
I'm
here in
just saying.
front of me.
Yo,
like somebody needs to get this
So
man
when
some
you start,
lotion. It's really
when you start
pissing me
making
off.
movies and all that shit, don't forget about us.
No, of course it's been blessed to talk to you guys, and the movie thing. Who knows what's gonna happen with that? You just keep hustling, keep projects moving. You know what I mean?
No doubt.
Yeah.
So,
Are
wait,
you trying to be an actor?
Yeah, I want to do acting.
I
as well.
do too.
Really?
I think I would be
I could see both of you. Not you for sure. I could see both of you being on screen for real. Like you guys.
Thank you.
so hard.
I'm gonna be like John Wick, the Black John
Thank
Wick,
you.
just killing niggas all over the place. Like boom,
The black
boom.
what?
The Black John Wick.
The Black John what?
Wick.
Oh my God.
I feel like there's a savage joke in there, but I'm gonna keep it nice. Okay.
Anywho, this is episode number.
Are we done?
Yeah, we.
No, we are not done.
Yeah.
Why we are not done? Because I need to clarify this for all the people who really actually think that I'm wearing fake kicks. Please do not.
Wait, you're
Please,
wait,
please,
No.
please show me.
Wait,
Please show me.
Gordons?
Listen, one thing
Please,
about
please show-
Gordons.
please show the-
Listen, let me show you. Hold on, let me show you.
Sir Robert Borden.
There's things that I am known
Yeah, she got the Sir Robert Borden.
Listen, there's things that I am known for. Okay, my nails, my kicks, my swag. Period. Do not play with them. These are
The Montel Jordan
Do you
threes.
see these? These are The 3s, Jordan 3s. This man disgracefully came here in some tugboats that were gray, looked like cement, a block of cement, and came in here and tried to play them off like they were actual Jordans.
My brother brought them.
They were not even. Listen, bro. They weren't even the best.
I think the podcast is over right now.
No, I'm no.
Toronto Charlie. Do you want to shout anybody out? I'm just saying.
I want to shout out. Your Walmart Led Zeppelin shirt.
Thank you.
Giant Tiger.
Got
by the way.
him.
Yeah.
Giant Tiger. Yo, only real ones know who Giant Tiger is. Only people from Ottawa know who Giant Tiger is.
The fact that you try to cut off the sleeves so people can see
I
your
bought
muscles.
them like this. Thank you.